everyone, this is Ryan with Ozark Vape, and I just wanted to go over this RDA right here, which is the Hobo V2. It is a clone, it is a one-to-one clone, and I just wanted to go over some of the advantages to this RDA. This is not a review of the RDA, it's just an explanation of the RDA. What they changed, what they utilized, and the differences that they made to this RDA that haven't necessarily been done to other RDAs in the past. So to start this off, I've got this on a coil jig right now, and that's just basically to stabilize the deck so it'll stand upright while I'm doing this video. To start off, this RDA does have a dual negative post and a dual positive post, which is really infamous, and a lot more RDAs are starting to utilize this because it makes coil building really easy, really simple, great for beginners, great for enders. It's just an all-around really nice advantage to this RDA because it does make coil building super easy. You don't have just one post here, one post here, and one post here. You can do a single coil from one to the other, or you can do dual coils, or you can do quads on both sides. Whatever you choose to do, it'll be really super easy. In this case, the dual positive post is a copper post, which makes conductivity to the coils a lot quicker and a lot faster than it would if this was stainless steel or silver plated copper. Now, the really interesting thing about this RDA that they really did differently is that they actually machined both negatives to each other as well as the deck. So this is all one solid piece except for the positive post. That's the only thing that is separate from the rest of the deck. And that's really kind of interesting because you don't see any divides in between or anything like that. It's just all negative right there, all negative around here. And on the actual deck itself, you have a very nice juice well, which is really deep. So that's really cool that they added that. It'll add for extra dripping and allow you to put more cotton into the RDA than you would if it just didn't have this at all. Another really cool thing is that this positive post is actually copper from the top to the bottom. The 510 connection to your mech is copper as well, so that's a full copper connection from top to bottom there. And that's going to allow a lot better electricity to this positive post, allowing for lower volt drop, faster coil heating, etc. So that's really interesting about this RDA. And the other thing that is really cool is this thing right here, which is actually kind of like the top cap or something along those lines, but more or less makes it more or less part of the deck than anything else. And you actually just screw this onto the deck and it becomes like more or less what I would call a juice well, or a deeper juice well than your standard RDA. And it does have the airflow cut right into it. So let me get this right back onto the jig real quick here. Okay, and I'll let this focus for a minute here. But you can see right there where they've cut into this wall or juice well, whatever it happens to be. They've cut right into there to allow airflow direct onto your coils, which is actually kind of cool because you don't see this in any RDA to date. This kind of wall, and on this deck that already has a very nice juice well, it's kind of an addition to your juice well, but also has that direct airflow onto the coils to help keep those coils cooler. Then you've got your top cap, which is also a very interesting design. You have 3 cuts into the top cap that allow you to do, you can do dual coil setups, which either side is open, and then you can do single coil setups, which you can also see there are airflow cuts into the top cap as well, which means that airflow is going direct down onto those coils and coming right back up. And that just goes on there like that. You can actually set this up a bit differently than what I did. So you've got direct airflow to the coils, as well as you've got airflow going down onto those coils as well. And then you have the airflow control ring for the top, which will allow you to open those airflows or keep those airflows closed off, depending on how you want to run it. You can adjust these any way you want, because this will spin independently from the rest of the RDA. That is actually this is actually a really nicely designed RDA, because they added that, they actually changed things up, because nobody's actually really made an airflow that goes direct down onto those coils and comes back up, as well as add that kind of still airflow or Cyclops airflow on both sides. So there's pretty much a breakdown of the Hobo RDA. It is a very, very nice Addy. Now, this is not a review of the Addy, it's just a breakdown. So if I do happen to pick one of these up, I'll go back through and I'll do a review of this Addy. But for the time being, that's pretty much just the advantages to the Hobo V2 Addy. Thank you for your time. Hopefully you enjoyed this. If you have any questions or concerns, please feel free to comment in the box below. Have a great night.